Here in Southern California, we have been experiencing some very large earthquakes the past couple days, and we continue to experience earthquakes in the financial sector. Today, Deutsche Bank came out with some very ominous news. The question is Deutsche Bank going to be the big earthquake that sets off the global collapse? It's Sunday, July 7th, 2019. Currently, this afternoon, Dow futures are down. We will see tomorrow if the Deutsche Bank news has any negative effect on the markets. As most of you know, bad news is good news in these markets. These markets are so detached from reality that nothing matters. The only thing matters is rate cuts. But regarding Deutsche Bank, a bank that's had numerous scandals, numerous investigations, has had to pay numerous settlements, they said today that they will exit its global equities business and slash 18,000 jobs. Deutsche Bank expressed that its restructuring plan is going to cost 7.4 billion euros by the end of 2022. The German bank expects to report a net loss of 2.8 billion euros in the second quarter of 2019. Now, for the past few years, very high-level executives have been jumping ship, leaving, quitting. Just recently, banking chief Garth Ritchie stepped down. People are jumping off the sinking ship, and now I believe the stock is just hovering above $8. And this is a stock that was well above $100. This is one of the biggest banks in Europe. If Deutsche Bank goes down, I believe it will be an earthquake across the globe. I believe it will take multiple banks down. It will take countries down. They're sitting on around $40 trillion of derivatives, billions of dollars of assets. And as most of us all know, these banks are all intertwined, connected, and it will have major effects on the United States of America. Yet, the stock market could go up tomorrow. It may not even care. It just seems that these markets and people are oblivious to the hazards out there right now. We are literally walking all around landmines and nobody even cares. People just say it is what it is. And I believe if you live your life believing it is what it is, you're going to pay a severe consequence when this collapse sets off. People are absolutely oblivious to the dangers that are out there right now, oblivious to where their retirements, where their pensions, where their money markets, where their 401ks, where they're invested in. And this stuff is all intertwined. If you think that you're safe here in America, if a bank like Deutsche Bank goes down, there are going to be severe ramifications if this happens. This is a major earthquake on a global scale that is going to affect the entire world. And if Deutsche Bank gets rocked, you can bet that there are going to be major banks here in America that are going to get rocked too. As we witness this entity, Deutsche Bank, in massive trouble, the amount of potential economic damage that a bank like Deutsche Bank can do to the entire globe. This is just another reminder, a reinforcement of why every one of you needs to be holding some precious metals, gold and silver. Why every one of you needs to start thinking like your own central bank and start protecting yourself. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. If a bank like Deutsche Bank collapses, what do you think is going to happen to paper prices? They are going straight to the floor. This is why it is so important that you have hard assets that you are holding in your hand that you can get to. Paper is not going to protect you. Precious metals will. We have continuous bad news going on right here in America. Multiple reasons why you need to be protecting yourself. Why you have to have a emergency plan put aside, why you have to have an emergency fund, having some cash, having hard assets. and of course, having all your preps. We've had multiple earthquakes here in the last couple days. We've had 3,000 aftershocks here in just a few days. And so these are all reasons why you need to be protecting yourself with preps, why you need to be protecting yourself with precious metals, because not only are we seeing natural earthquakes, we are seeing earthquakes in our financial institutions. Washington Times today, 1 in 4 Americans have no plan to retire. Do you know why that is? Because they cannot retire. 1 in 5 people 65 or older are working or are looking for work. People are going to have to work longer because they cannot afford to retire. Again, you must be your own central bank. Do not rely on your pension to be there, because more than likely it is not going to be there for you. Daily Mail today. This was a very interesting article. People are living in pods, okay? These metal containers. This is going on in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. The price of housing, the price of rentals is so high that people are sleeping in shipping containers now. At $35 to $50 a night, you can rent one of these, sleep in a bunk bed, okay, in a shipping container in Los Angeles or San Francisco for $1,050 to $1,500 a month, okay? You can sleep in a bunk bed in a shipping container. And in this article, they have a video. I watched it. It's in the Daily Mail. Check it out. They almost make it sound fun and exciting, sleeping in a shipping container with other people, okay? You're gonna have numerous bunk beds in these shipping containers, so you get to sleep with people you don't know. Hopefully they don't have bug beds or scabies or any airborne diseases, but it's exciting. You're always gonna have company, lights out at 10. But I mean, we're being conditioned now to drive little electric cars and sleep in bunk beds and shipping containers, be renters, never have a net worth, never have any money, never use cash, just use your plastic card, use your chip, and just go, we're just being conditioned to use electronic money so that they can follow every transaction that you do. We're getting conditioned to having cameras everywhere at every street corner. Next, they'll want cameras in your house, which I guess in some appliances that may already be happening in your TVs. But whatever that may be, we are being conditioned to downsize, to lower our standard of living, to have less money. We're just being conditioned on a daily basis now to live smaller, to have a lesser degree in our living standards, and to live with less and get used to it. So, for $1,500 a month now, you can live in a shipping container with multiple other people. Article today on the Wall Street Journal. SUVs are bumper to bumper on dealer lots with more on the way. My question is, how are we going to absorb all of these new cars, new SUVs when people aren't buying them? I just drove by my local car lot a few minutes from my house here with all the major brands. And I was in Orange County a few days ago, drove by some lots there. You cannot put a piece of paper between the vehicles sitting on these lots because they are sitting on top of one another. You literally cannot squeeze another automobile on these lots. They are just absolutely flooded. It is a sea of cars on every auto lot out here and the ones I've saw in Orange County. How are all these vehicles going to be absorbed into these markets? Who's going to buy these vehicles? So you can finance these vehicles for 7 years or more, low rates, stock market highs, low unemployment, and wage growth. And we just got job numbers that were up 224,000 new jobs for the month of June. So with this utopia that's taking place in this so-called great booming economy, how come we're seeing floods and a sea of automobiles, a sea of SUVs at the auto lots? We're flooded with automobiles, and I don't know how this is all going to be absorbed. And what are these automakers going to do when this recession hits full bore in America? I think we are going to see some serious carnage here in America when we are smack dab in the middle of this recession. No longer can deny it, and we are in a full-blown recession. Imagine the devastation and the carnage we're going to see in these markets here in the United States of America. Here's an article I read this morning on shtfplan.com. Big Pharma hikes drug price 879%, and that's just one of 3,400 so far this year. So pharmaceuticals in America are skyrocketing. 879% for an increase for one pharmaceutical. Many of these 3,400 were also raised triple digits. Many raised double digits. So the price for pharmaceuticals continues to skyrocket. And we talk about the typical average American and how they're surviving with all this debt. And when you look at how many people are on pharmaceuticals here in America and the amount of money that it is costing them, my advice, if I can give any advice today, is do everything you can to stay off pharmaceuticals, not to be reliant or dependent on pharmaceuticals, possibly looking at alternatives. But, I think we all have to just take the best care of ourselves, work out, eat the best that we can, and really take care of our bodies. Our body is the temple. And the best thing you can do is avoid being on pharmaceuticals in the first place. Avoid being sick in the first place. And the more you take care of yourself, the better you eat, the better your chance that you're never going to be on pharmaceuticals. You're never going to have to take these drugs and be dependent on them. Because first off, it's not safe. It's not good for your body. And secondly, it's going to cost a lot of money. So, to take something, put something in your body that is not going to be good for it, and to spend this amount of money and be dependent on a drug financially and physically, I believe that we have to do everything we can not to be on pharmaceuticals, to be as healthy as we possibly can. So continue to make sure you're working out, getting in better shape, eating better. That's what we all need to do in our daily lives to improve our workouts, improve our diets, so that we're not dependent on pharmaceuticals and that we're not going to be bankrupted by taking these drugs. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Before I go, please comment down below and let me know what you think the reaction will be in the markets tomorrow to this Deutsche Bank news. Are we going to see the market go negative tomorrow? Is it going to be a negative reaction, or does the market just not care? Does this market just care and expect a rate cut in July and it just, sail smoothly ahead? Or is there going to be some negative reaction tomorrow? I think there will be some negative reaction. Maybe not a whole lot. Maybe it's hard to say. This is really concerning news. This could be really, really bad. It's much bigger than most people think. But again, these markets are so detached from reality that all they're looking for is a rate cut. I do think we will get a negative reaction tomorrow. How much, I don't know. And comment down below, are we even going to get a rate cut in July? I believe we will. I don't think it will be 50 basis points. I believe it will be 25. But comment down below, will we get one or will we not get one? Are we going to see a negative day tomorrow or are we not? Is this Deutsche Bank news going to affect the markets in a negative way, or do they just not care? Comment down below. I'm very curious to know what you guys think is going to happen tomorrow. But in closing, no matter what happens, we know what's going to happen. We know these are more warning signs to a global collapse. And it is another reason why you must be preparing, why you must be your own central bank, why you must have security, why you must have food and water. I cannot repeat this enough. Earthquakes out here in California, earthquakes now in the banking sector with Deutsche Bank. These are massive warning signs. This is going to be no shock when this thing collapses to the people who have been awake and are following what's happening. This is not going to be any shock or any surprise. But to the masses, they will be taken by a massive surprise. They are not going to know what hit them. So continue to be preparing. For the people out there who continue in the comments to ask me about where to buy gold and silver, I have a link down below, SD Bullion. I have an order coming in tomorrow. I will be making another order at the end of this month. Gold under $1,400, silver under $15. This stuff is on sale. There's no excuse for anybody out there not to be buying silver at under $15 an ounce. Make a sacrifice, work a couple extra hours, have a garage sale, cut out, Friday night, at the bar, cut out going out to dinner this week, and buy some hard tangible assets like silver. This stuff is on sale. It will never be worth zero. You will look back years from now and laugh at these prices, that you took that monopoly money and actually bought real solid money. So do the right thing, put some assets aside, protect yourself financially. Make sure all your preps are topped off. Most of all, make sure you have security and that you're walking close to God. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have an incredible week. We'll talk very, very soon. God bless every one of you, and God bless America.